Hi beautiful people, thank you for watching Funk Stylers TV. I'm Inga B and today I'm talking to the incredibly talented popper from UK, Paris. Now, if you don't know Paris yet, if you're not familiar with her, despite being only 20 years old, she already rocked the stages of Step Your Game Up, KOD, Summer Dance Forever, UK B-Boy Championships, and I think a lot of other events. And so today we're going to talk about her dance journey. Get some training tips, ask questions like what she thinks makes a great dancer and some other stuff. So Paris, finally I get the chance to interview. Yeah, we both live in London, but the schedules have been incompatible so far. So
for a long time.
Yes.
It's a long time coming.
Yeah, so thank you for being here today. And firstly, I want to ask you, was popping the first style that you started training in?
Training in, yes. But in terms of dancing, I mean, I grew up dancing. My house has been filled with music my whole life because my dad used to be in a band.
All right.
So he's always collected music and he's a music person. So I just grew up with music, watching Michael Jackson in front of the TV and imitating him and all that jazz, which was nice. But in terms of training popping, I started training popping at Swindon Dance Academy when I started taking part in class when I was 12, 13 at Swindon Dance. But in terms of training, when I was 15, I started like properly, you know, consciously saying, okay, Paris, you need to train and go on it. And this was because at one point during the class, I was asked to freestyle and I couldn't do it. And I actually ended up running outside of the class and crying.
Oh no.
I know, oh, it was the worst feeling ever. So I said, Paris, you know, you need to fix up and, you know, just really get on it and listen to my teachers. When they tell you to practice, practice, because that's the only way you're gonna feel comfortable and improve. So I did exactly that and I started to dedicate some time into practicing and yeah, I guess I just started to get better like that and yeah, train a lot.
And who did you learn from?
Ooh, okay, so I learned from many different teachers, but my main teacher is Robert Hilton for popping. And then I met Brooke and Sean from Plague, and they would come into Swindon termly or during an intensive week, and they'll teach us popping or a different style or something like that, but obviously my style is popping. So they teach me popping, and then afterwards they would say, okay, you know, you're improving and you should come train with us in London. So I did, and they also taught me. And then I met Dixon through Brooke. I think I met Dixon through Brooke at Trocadero, and we exchanged, and yeah, so those four guys, I would say, are my main teachers, but then I always try and take classes from everyone that I encounter.
Okay.
Like the EVs.
Oh yeah, yeah, very useful.
Yeah.
So I remember when we spoke before, you mentioned that when you were starting to learn popping, there were hardly any girls around, so you would always mainly train with guys. So how was that?
At first I was really, really intimidated because they were stronger, and I thought, you know, a girl couldn't possibly tense that hard or, you know, hit that hard or pop that hard, and, you know, do those crazy things that I've seen loads and loads of guys do in popping. So I was really, really intimidated by that. But then as I got older within the dance and I started to improve more, I felt really comfortable and less intimidated, and in fact I felt really empowered, and I loved being the only girl sometimes because I could do something that they couldn't necessarily do because I was a female.
Yeah.
So I kind of used what I had to my advantage. So yeah.
So how does it feel now to be one of the leading UK poppers, you know, in a male-dominated field?
It feels awesome, but you know, I don't actually think of it like that. I just think of myself as a dancer who pops. So for you to say a leading popper in the UK as a female is quite mind-blowing actually, because it was never really a goal of mine. It's just something that I practice and I happen to enjoy and I guess get better in. So it's definitely a big accomplishment and I'm proud of myself.
Okay. So if you had a chance to learn from anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
Okay. There's two people. One would be Skeeter Rabbit for Poppin, because I've seen so many clips of him and his energy and his feeling projects from the screen and into me, and it just flows around in my body and I can feel what he's feeling when he's on that stage or wherever he is just dancing, and I love that. And I've seen him teach through YouTube clips and stuff like that, and he teaches really well, because I know that some dancers are not necessarily good teachers and vice versa, but he explained things in a way that I wouldn't necessarily, think of. So I'd really like to learn from him. And another person I'd really like to talk to and learn from is Marjorie Smith, because I've also watched interviews with her and she just seemed like the most free-spirited person you could meet, and I love that. That's very much what I'm based on, like that's very much what I'm about. So I would have loved to have met her, and I would have loved to have met Ski and really, learn from them and talk to them and get that insight on the dance in general.
And talking about UK popping scene, what do you feel is the state of it right now, and in comparison to other countries that you've been to? Because you traveled recently, right, last year. So how would you compare it to other countries?
Before I traveled, I thought the UK scene was really small for popping. It is small, but it's expanded so much within the last couple of years, and I'm so pleased with that. It's amazing. But what I can say is, okay, for example, when I went to Asia, their scene is massive, and they're all amazing, but how can I put this in there? They don't have something that we have, which is being an individual. I'm not saying they're not individuals, because they're amazing, and there's people there who do have their own individual style, but UK, we look different. Everybody looks different from each other, and I absolutely love that. And I think that's something that people should really take on board. Looking how you want to look, looking good for you, looking good in a way that expresses your feelings in an honest way, and not necessarily being taught by someone and taking or adopting their style so much. So, really just having your own mind within the dance and the way that you move, which is really important. And I noticed that distinction a lot when I went to Asia, especially. When I went to the US, I feel like they're more like the UK. They have their own individual style. And maybe because obviously in Asia, Asia's very broad, but for example, in China, I don't think they have the club culture as much. So it's like party, everybody, sharing, getting down, and they basically just learn from studios and having one teacher being in front of them constantly. So I think it's a bit more difficult to kind of break out of that mindset, whereas here we have that culture, so it's much more easier for us to have our own individual style and stuff like that.
Okay. Guys, sorry about the drilling. I've asked them, but they had to do what they have to do. So we're just going to speak up a little bit louder, right?
I'll try.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about Firehouse Clue.
So Firehouse started in, oh my God, when I was 16, I think, which was 4 years ago.
Okay.
4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. And basically we are like a family in a way. It's a group of us, about maybe just under 15 of us,
Okay, that's a lot.
I know, it's quite a big family, but within Firehouse we all have our different styles that we do as well as popping. So like for example, Brooke, he does locking and he does hip hop and house and da-da-da-da, and Dixon does contemporary and da-da-da.
Yeah.
So everybody brings something different to Firehouse, which is nice. Firehouse is just a collective of dancers, I won't say poppers, dancers, who share the same mindset in terms of like training to get better, and you know, wanting to be really good at what they do and really want to be within the dance scene. Yeah, that's basically Firehouse. And it was founded by Dixon and Brooke.
Okay, okay. So I want to ask, when did you start taking part in battles and why?
Ooh. Okay, so when I started training and I started practicing with Sean and Brooke, Sean told me regional conflict was coming up, and I was 15 at the time, and I wasn't sure about doing it because I only took training seriously that year. So I was like, should I do this? Should I not do this? I'm just going to do it anyway. So I decided to do it, and regional conflict was my first battle, and I actually managed to get to the semi-finals. I was really proud of that. And did you say why did I do it?
Yeah. Why did you start taking part in battles?
Why did I start to take part in battles? You know, it's weird for me because I've never really saw myself as a battle person because I love to share so much. I guess battles have that sharing element anyway, but I feel like battles and competitions have a lot of rules in them, so I don't actually enter loads and loads of battles in the first place. Most of the time when I do battles, it's because I get persuaded into doing it. So I get forced into doing it, or I'm there at the event and I'm feeling the music, so I'm like, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to enter. So I end up entering, and yeah, otherwise I never really say to myself, well, Paris, yeah, I'm going to do this battle and all of that. Yeah, it's just mostly for fun most of the time.
Okay. And what would you say is your most memorable battle or most memorable exchange?
Most memorable battle, most memorable exchange would be... It would have to be Just the Boo. Just the Boo UK, when I battled Alpa and... Oh my god, Alpa and... He's gonna kill me. Alpa and Nick, Marvel.
Oh, okay, yes.
So sorry. Yeah, Alpa and Marvel. It was me and Kieran versus them. That would have had to be my best battle because it was just completely in the moment. I wasn't even sure what I was doing. I just went, done what I had to do. The music was good. I liked the exchange, and you know, he drew and we had to go again. I was feeling pumped and energized and everything, and I was ready to go, and yeah, that was probably the best battle because I remember feeling afterwards how powerful, I felt really powerful during my round. So afterwards I was so happy and it was great.
Nice. So how often do you actually train?
Okay, so I like to train every day, but for me, like I don't really worry about how long I train for. For me, it's about how I train rather than the length. So yeah, I like to train every day, and whenever I get the chance, really. If I'm on the bus stop, then I just practice in my own little world, or if I'm on the train station, practice in my own little world and stuff like that, and you know, people give me weird looks, but you know, it's what it is. Right? Yeah, exactly. The music's good, so just keep going. And yeah, obviously in my room is my best studio. I don't like mirrors when I train. I like to train without the mirrors, so I block off my mirrors a lot of the time, and just I like to feel the music and be strategic when I train. Yeah.
So let me ask you, what are your top 3 training tips for people?
Top 3 training tips. Oh God. Okay. It would have to be pick something that you want to work on and focus on that and go for a long time on that one thing. 1. 2, don't think of it as a chore or something that you have to do. Just make sure that it's really fun. And also train to different types of music. I, for one, I don't even train to popping music. I train to like jazz and hip hop and house music. That's most of the time, yeah, because it gives me a different feel. And then I just implement all of that within my popping, because it's basically the groove and then you pop on top, right? So yeah, that's basically my 3. Did I say 3?
Yeah,
yes.
you did.
Those three.
Okay.
Change up the music and all that.
Okay, so what do you think makes a great dancer?
Okay, for me, there's okay, creativity, being free is very important to me, and I guess that links into creativity as well. But being free, just not overthinking about things too much, about where your arms are and just going for it. And exploring within the space as well. Having passion when you dance is so important to me. Having passion, having presence when you dance as well. And just not caring about what other people expect from you. As long as you're true to your dance, then that's the most important thing as well. So those things, definitely.
Okay, so following that, do you have this one dancer that inspires you all the time?
One dancer, oh God, that inspires me all the time. Honestly, I've got so many people in my head. There's no one specific dancer. Like everybody does things so differently that I can't choose between them.
Can you name a few?
Can I name a few?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the EBs, people from MGF like Simboogie. Who else? For popping, those people.
What about in general?
In general, like just
dancers.
Just dancers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, my friend Jordan from LA, he's so cool. I love the way he dances. Like he puts creativity and groove together to me, and I see that and I'm just like, wow, like I'm blown away. He's awesome. So definitely him. There's some other people as well, but they're just not popping into my head right now. Definitely those people.
Okay.
For now, yeah.
Okay. And
and some b-boys as well, like Nasty Ray.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. And b-boy Born, I like to watch as well. And yeah.
Okay. So I know that dance is not the only thing that you do. So what else do you do apart from dance?
I'm a full-time student.
Yay!
Yay!
What do you study?
Psychology.
Why do you choose psychology?
Because it's really opened up my eyes to, in terms of like understanding myself and other people and the way we process things, the way we receive information and the way we behave. Like, for example, a guy called Milgram who talks about how people become agents. And you have other people who are very autonomous, so they have free will, and just taking that on board and just watching people in everyday life and how people act in general is just awesome, just to apply those concepts onto real life situations, even in dance.
Okay, so who do you want to be when you grow up?
Who do I want to be when I grow up? Who do I want to be when I grow up? No one. I don't want to be anyone when I grow up. I just want to be me. Yeah.
Good answer. Okay, apart from dance and psychology, do you have any other hobbies, interests, or passions?
Traveling. I love traveling so much.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Seriously, like you learn so much. When I started traveling, before I started traveling, I was quite selfish.
In what way?
Just in little ways. Like I wouldn't want to. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I wouldn't want to give someone my drink to drink when they're thirsty, or I wouldn't want to, like, if somebody's like, "Oh, who has £1?" I'd be like, yeah. So I was selfish. I admit that openly. But ever since I started traveling and meeting new people and them, you know, welcoming me with open arms, and you know, it's really changed my perspective on things and how privileged I am to be here and be alive and be healthy and kicking and to have what I have. So yeah, no, traveling is probably one of the main things that I'm interested in. Yeah, I would say traveling.
Okay. Okay, if you had a superpower, what would it be and why?
Oh my god, this is the hardest question.
Everyone's scared of these questions.
Oh
Why?
God,
it's so fun.
Okay, so a long time ago, it used to be me being, is it telepathic when you can move things in your mind, or tele something?
Tell you something.
Yeah, tele something. Telekinetic? No. Anyways, I can move things in my mind, and this is because I used to watch Charmed, and I loved the way the character Prue, she was just such a crazy character. She could like move things with her mind and her hands, and like make things fly across the other side of the room and stuff. Yeah. And it just seemed so powerful to me, so I wanted that power. But now I wish that I could teleport. Teleport or fly. Maybe flying more, because I would like to see the whole journey or the whole process from me going from A to B, and just really, you know, looking down on everything and having a kind of bird's eye view of everything. That would be cool. Yeah. Sorry, that was too many powers, but yeah.
Well, you got there in the end.
Yeah.
Okay, if you could meet anyone in the world, doesn't have to be a dancer, anyone, any person, who would it be and why?
Michael Jackson.
Why?
Probably because I grew up listening to his music, and just, you know, watching lots of documentaries on how he made music, and he just seemed like a genius, and I would love to talk to him about his perspective on music and even just the world, because his music spoke to so many people. Like his song called Man in the Mirror, where he talks about, you know, people, you have to kind of make the change for yourself in order for the change to reflect on the greater good of society, if that makes sense. Well, you know what I mean. Yeah. So his music had purpose, which is like, I don't really hear that a lot in today's music. So I mean, he's not the only artist who used to put lots of meaningful messages in his music, but he's definitely somebody who I listen to a lot, and he really inspired me a lot with his music. Like even his song "Heal the World," it's just deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have the question from Renegade. Shout out. So he says that he has seen not so many unbelievably naturally talented dancers or people over the years, and you stand out as one of them for him. Does it come with an explicit awareness, and do you actually know that you are talented?
Blah, 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 blah. First of all, thank you, Kev. That is a wonderful question / compliment. Secondly, I am aware that I'm talented because I believe that everybody is talented for something. For me, I could say that I'm talented in dance. Whether that's something that whether dance is something that I'm naturally talented in, I want to say yes, because I feel like it's been passed down through my roots. So like my granddad, he loved dance. When at the beginning of this interview, I said my granddad, at parties he would dance and all these kinds of things. Like he would dance, my aunties would dance, my dad's a musician. I just think it runs in my family, so I feel like it runs through my veins to be a dancer, it's just who I am. But at the same time, in terms of popping, it's definitely taken hard work. You have to put the work in and you have to train, and you know, you have to do all those things in order to get better. So it's partly explicit and partly unconscious because it's already there. Yeah.
Okay. So what is next for Paris?
What is next for me? Next for me is going to have some lunch and
Wow.
No, okay, on a real. Next for me is hopefully when I finish uni, I hope to be traveling and helping out in different countries. So maybe join charity or something like a legit charity, and support people within the community, whether that's me helping by dancing or, you know, talking to the young ones or building things, who knows, but I really want to, you know, try and make a difference. I want to use the skills that I have to help others. So yeah, hopefully I get to do that when I leave you.
Well, you're such a good soul. I want to give you a hug. Okay, that's actually the end of the interview. Do you have any final comments or shout outs?
I want to give a shout out to you. Thank you for watching. And I just want to say, just keep doing whatever it is that you want to do in that moment. Don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future, just do what you love to do then and there and be happy, and don't stress over many things, because stress is not worth anything. It's not good for you physically and it's not good for you mentally. So yeah, just stay happy, keep building, and yeah, all good things will start to come to you. Stay positive.
Nice. Thank you very much for this interview. Guys, if you want more content like this, you know where to find us: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We are everywhere. So till the next time, peace.
Peace, bye. Thank you.